I've got another, it's not really a rant, it's more of a, sometimes they're rants, sometimes they're just kind of ponderings or explanations or explorations. I have little tags for them on my blog. So, women think men are really hard to figure out, and the truth is we're a lot simpler than we would ever let on. I'm not going to make excuses for men as a whole, but, you know, I think I can explain a few things. As a sex, we're the killers of food, hunters, gatherers, soldiers, protectors and killers of spiders and mice. We've evolved to just, you know, do that. We've been doing that for thousands of years, you know, free-flowing testosterone, you know. We've got chemicals coursing through our veins that scream for fights, enemies to conquer, anger which is hard to keep in check. Rational side shuts up and cringes as the beast wakes up and knows something has to be done. And not with words, with the fists. Each man struggles with his own caustic emotions. He can't even define them. How is he supposed to explain why he just hit someone else for being in the wrong place at the wrong time? Everyone thinks we're so evolved as a species and that we're so different from animals. We aren't. The only thing that I can do better than an animal, besides this, is I can live a more comfortable life, of course. We get easier and more comfortable environments, better food, which is debatable, and we can live longer, but someone who's in a panic situation, they immediately revert back to their animal instincts. This is why people flip out. They can't handle whatever stimuli is driving them, so they just fight or flight. With that in mind, guys are naturally fighting, or wait, what did I write? With that in mind, guys are naturally fighting this anyway. You get that burning feeling in your chest, your pulse raises, and you want to smash something, or you run until you can only see the desert. Science dictates that girls have more white matter and guys have more gray matter. White is for emotion, gray is for rational. Girls learn speech earlier than guys and socialize much faster than guys do. Girls say they say girls can deal with higher stress levels, and I believe it. They take a ton, and you would never know it. Girls just have a lot of grace. Gray matter is for spatial relations and directions and that type of thing. Counter to what most people think, guys have a much better sense of direction since we're used to hunting, right? Since we've got the short end on the white matter, we're generally having a much harder time putting it into words what we feel, because you know our white matter is not as evolved as girls is. Guys can be cold, or we can just plain be dicks, and that's why we don't know how to deal with our emotions, because women have all the white matter and we have all the gray matter. Though a guy can actually try to put a handle on these emotions that he's feeling, it's very, very hard. Guys also have to make a lot of hard decisions in their days. If you have to kill someone to save someone else, a guy can at least rationalize it and do the best in the situation. A girl would struggle with it, since everybody should live, right? And that's, you know, nothing wrong with that. This is why all the big, bad, you know, terrible motherfuckers in history have all been men, like Hitler, like Stalin, like anybody like that. All the big genociders have been men. Even though I know there's been a few women that are bad. Joe Stalin comes to mind, of course, because you know he killed more people than anybody. That's not to say a girl can't be, you know, a killer in the heat of passion or extremely cold-blooded, but you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how far girls can go. But just generally, as far as you know, just executing like 1,000 people for just being in the wrong place, a guy can do it. And you know, girls don't like doing that. I wouldn't want to have to do that shit either. That's terrible. But I'm just saying, guys can reach a level of vileness that women will probably never even understand. I get that every guy isn't like that, but you know, every guy does feel these emotions. Who hasn't wanted to just push someone down the stairs when they're being mouthy, or you know, they just club someone to death and make them see your point. You know, like you can change people's minds with your fist, believe it or not. It just takes a lot of shots. Come think of us, most of us just don't play and act on these emotions. Though in densely populated areas, humans act like rats, as you know, it just happens. That's why Detroit is so high on the death count. Most of the murders of guys. I mean, there's a fraction that are women, but I mean, mostly it's guys. And that's it for today. Well, right now.